Discovery, they're looking at a launch at 11:37 a.m. this morning, shortly near the end of our show or thereafter. If the build in 9 minute hold, if they resume the countdown in a couple of minutes, we're looking at 11:37. Otherwise, later on, or they'll cancel the launch this morning.
The show director of the greatest American ski show. And from Eagle River, Wisconsin, Jeff Staska. The greatest exhibition ski jumping team in the world. Freestyle jumping at its best with the best. We'll begin with 360 aerials, helicopter spins. Two men wrap that line around their waist, preparing to go to the air. Cutting it close, the two-man helicopter and a double split. Coming back this time from the north end of our show circle, we'll take a look at a two-man helicopter with a cross under. Two men go to the air, spinning, timing again crucial. The two men remaining on the water, switching off. Two up, two under, two down. Wow. Our rafts out here are both 18 feet to ski. An incredible four-man helicopter with no margin for error. All four, 360 degrees. Long distance, lay down, reverse somersaults. Todd Anderson and Michael Barnes, the gainers. This is the most incredible act ever built on water, a four-tier human pyramid. Ski show will resume right after launch. We'll keep you up to date on that.
We're anticipating the clock will hold at T-minus 31 seconds due to a failure. We have not heard what that is yet.
It's going down.
Not good news. They're going to stop it at 31 seconds. Jeff? That's correct. The words I heard were cabin pressure rate of change.
50 seconds and counting. We're going to clear.
What does that mean? Well, I want to hear if that has anything to do with the fact that the crew have just put down their visors. That gives an extra spurt of oxygen into the cabin. It's something they've done before, but I think we have to stand by. Not stopping the clock. Not stopping the clock. So 34 seconds to go. What happened?
31 seconds. We have a go for and liftoff. Liftoff. Americans return to space as Discovery clears the tower.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there's a slight delay from the time it lifts off from the pad at Cape Canaveral in time. We see it here at Cypress Gardens. You just look to the sky. You'll see the stream of white smoke over the ski shop, the entrance complex straight ahead on top of the hill. There is a delay of approximately 45 seconds, I believe, since the last time we watched the launch from here, the time we see it here. The clouds out here perhaps a little problem today. It makes a solidly transition.
There's the trail. It should be coming right up from there.
There it goes.
Okay, there we go.
There it goes.
Space Shuttle Discovery.
I'll tell you, it makes you get chills when you see it. And it's on its way. But there she goes. They just had to burn out.
Kennedy Space Center, Cape Canaveral, approximately, I think, 70 miles from Cypress Gardens.
That's 70 miles away, he just said.
We see that trail of smoke.
Well, that's all that we can see now.
And Discovery enters the outer atmosphere. Okay, Corcat, you and Cordy are to take off, just like a crew for Space Shuttle Discovery. But first, you have to sit down on the shoulders. No, I like that. Turn around and sit down. Corcat, don't turn around. Turn a square. Get on the shoulders. The countdown resumes. T-minus 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, 5 minutes to showtime.
Excuse me for a minute. Start off with this afternoon before I get on with these guys. I'd like to say a little bit about one of the world's most misunderstood animals. That's a snake. Now there are 2,700 different species of snakes in the world. Only about 1/3 are poisonous. Australia is the only country with more poisonous than non-poisonous snakes, and the United States only has 4 species of poisonous snakes. Florida is lucky enough to have all 4. That's the copperhead, coral snake, cottonmouth, and the rattlesnake. Now the copperhead is only found in the far northern regions of Florida. To this far south, you really only have to worry about 3. Now a lot of people misunderstand snakes, but snakes don't play a very important role in our environment. If a lot of people had the risk, they'd get rid of all of them. But if you were to do this, something else would have to take their place, and it'd most likely be poisonous insecticide. Personally, I'd rather have the snake. Now a lot of people think snakes are slimy, but they're not. The reason people think snakes are so slimy is simply because they're so shiny. But the only reason snakes are so shiny is simply because they're so clean. Snakes are one of the cleanest animals there is in the wild, and they are cleaner than some people I know.
They're cleaner than
Now,
some
before I
people.
go any further, I should have a snake with me. Just so happens I do, as I get this little guy out of my way. He's here. And this snake is Pandora. And Pandora is a little boa constrictor. Of course, she's saying she's not that little, but she is as far as boa constrictors go. Because the boa constrictor could reach a length of about 15 feet, Pandora here is only 6 feet, and she's about 5 years old. Now, as you can see, this snake's not trying to harm me in any way, and she wouldn't. She wouldn't look at me as food. They get the name constrictor by the way they catch their prey. What they do when they're hungry is lash a hold of her prey, wrap her coils around it. Therefore, when the prey exhales, she'll tighten her coils and suffocate her prey. They don't crush their prey like a lot of people seem to think, and they don't pounce on people out of trees like you see in the old Tarzan movies. Actually, they make very good pets. They don't eat much, they don't bark at night, and they don't chase cars. And if you have any relatives or guests at South State, they're welcome. You bring your pet snake out and they'll go home. A few things you might notice about the snake. One, like I said earlier, they are shiny. Now, the snake doesn't have any pores in their skin, so they do not sweat or secrete any oil. For this reason, they are very dry, and they feel just like a leather handbag. Snakes are rather slow-moving animals. They can only move about 3 or 4 miles an hour. I've seen people going 60 trying to get out of here away from the snake. And how many people have never touched a snake before? How many people have touched snakes before? Some of you aren't opening up to me. If you will get a chance, and after the show, I will have Pandora here out on the side, and you will get a chance to touch her. I do recommend you touch her, especially if you've never touched a snake before, because this will help ease your fear of snakes. Now, a few things you'll notice about the snake around the head area. First of all, the tongue. A lot of people used to think that the tongue was a poisonous stinger. This isn't true though. What the snake uses their tongue for is to collect particles in the air, brings those particles back into our mouth where they have an organ called the Jacobson organ. And this organ examines those particles like a little computer. As you and I would smell the air, the snake would taste the air. The snake doesn't have any eyelids. Let's give them a constant stare. There's a lot of people with eerie feelings. For protection, they have a thin, clear cap over their eyes. And when the snake sheds their skin, they'll also shed this cap. The snake doesn't have any ears. They don't hear airborne vibrations as you and I talking. So when you call your... What I mean by cold-blooded is they don't maintain one body temperature as you and I. Their body temperature is whatever the surrounding temperature is. If it's 80 degrees outside, their body temperature is 80 degrees. Alligators are protected animals. Even though here in the state of Florida, we have the largest population of alligators. Last census taken, there were well over 1 million alligators in the state of Florida. There's a couple points when an alligator is very dangerous. One is if they're hand-fed. It is against the law to hand-feed wild alligators. They're about 8 inches long and very vulnerable. Almost everything in the wild likes to eat baby alligators. Wading birds, birds of prey, possums, raccoons, bullfrogs. Even other alligators have been known to eat baby alligators. Mother Nature, realizing this, has equipped them with a few means of defense. One is camouflage. The light and dark stripes on the alligator's back represent shadows in the sawgrass. So if something were to chase this little guy for a snack, he could go run and hide in the woods. Another would be a very rapid growth rate. An alligator can grow up to a foot a year for the first 6 years of his life. They never stop growing as long as they live, and they have a lifespan similar to humans. An alligator could live to be 60 years old. One of the largest alligators on record is about 19 feet 2 inches and weighs well over 1,000 pounds. So you can tell this little guy here has got a lot of growing left to do. Main means of defense though is right up front. An alligator is born with a full set of teeth, and from the day an alligator is born to the day he dies, he will bite to defend himself. When an alligator loses a tooth, they'll grow a new one to replace it, pretty much like a shark. Now, we'll try not to pick on the same alligators all the time. He seems to be pretty handy here. Alright, this guy wants to show off. There we go, this is that volunteer I was telling you about. Now, I'm not hurting the alligator any with this noose. An alligator is a very tough animal. They have bony scutes all along the back of their neck and a lot of muscle tissue around their necks. It'd be almost impossible to choke an alligator, especially with a noose of this kind. He's not too upset, he's got a big smile on his face. Now, an alligator is not a very intelligent animal, and you cannot tame or train an alligator. So when I get him up here, he's not going to do any tricks for you, like you see over at a bird show. They're not very affectionate, so they don't make very good pets. About the only way you can become attached to one of these guys is if you make a mistake. His mouth open like that is a defensive posture. And he'll probably have his mouth open the whole time I'm handling him. He's just going to wait for me to make a mistake I'm telling you about. About the only thing he is going to do when I get him up here is wet me, try to get away from me and try to fight me, and maybe even a little bit of both. All I want to do is end up with everything I started out with. Alligators have a very low endurance rate, and they usually tire very quickly. I don't think this guy knows too much about alligators. He's not tired yet. This guy here is probably about 4 feet long, and he's about 4 years old, and he weighs probably 45 pounds, maybe even 50 pounds. Try another way here. Like I said, this is a very strong animal. Sounds too strong for his own good. Come on, brother.
He's slapping him on the back.
Sit. Pretty cute. Now, from this point of view, now if you ever do get a hold of one of these strange guys for some strange reason, and you wonder what you have, an alligator or a crocodile, a couple of ways to find out. One would be to reach up, tap him on the snout, get him to open his mouth big and wide, and count his teeth. Alligator has 80 teeth, crocodile only has 70. Get it right the first time. This is true, however, we don't recommend that technique, and most people aren't that curious. There's a much easier and safer way, from a distance, by the shape of the skull. Now, if you look on the wall behind me, we have two skulls. The skull to your right is the skull of a crocodile. You notice it's long and comes almost to a point, while to your left is the skull of an alligator. It's short, broad, and much tapered. The reason I bring this up is Florida is the only place in North America that has a North American crocodile, and it's found on the far southern tip of Florida in the Everglades area. Another thing you might notice about these guys, if you've ever seen one swimming around, and a lot of you probably have seen them swimming, and not knowing it was an alligator, they swim with about 75% of their body underwater. They're able to do this because everything they need to survive is right up on top of their head. Right at the end of their snout, their nose. Now, an alligator has a very keen sense of smell. Whoop. Shorten that. See you later, alligator. He seems about as happy as he was when we first started. Incidentally, it was the lighter portion of the belly and sides that are used in leather products. When the alligator does stay like that, he's not really a...
Hello. What are you eating? No, they're sharpening their beaks on the stone. Okay, let's go over here.
Look down here. Stop looking at me. Look down here. See that bird? Look at that bird right there. See that bird? See that bird? The ice show?
Huh?
We'll go scope out the ice show. What'd you say, Bob? What? Sammy had a tail like that, Sam.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. But he was bigger than that.
See it, Danny?
Well, he knows that everybody's got food.
Where?
Permission to write a Cypress Gardens theme. He was so infatuated with the girls in the ski show that, unsolicited, he wrote this song.
In Cypress Gardens, I met an aquaman, cute as she can be. And when she glides along on her water skis, it sure makes a wreck of me. Now when the sun goes down on the top of the mile, everything went well. My gal comes out, and to my surprise, is dressed like a southern belle. Oh, Aquaman, oh, Aquaman, Aquaman, oh, Aquaman, Aquaman, my fine and so full of life. I'm gonna ask you to be my wife. Now I've traveled here and I've traveled there. No spot did I see. All you were the best, so I love you, girl. So I come with me.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world famous Cypress Gardens Aquamade. Now we'll get back to our adopted skiers in a moment. Right now, let's... And to the south, our twin doubles.
Oh, baby, underwater, very grace and style. It's a magic moment every time you smile. The spell you put me under. These kisses of light sparkles on your face. Hey, hey, yeah. Aquaman.
The overhead. And hand-to-hand 360. Our twin couples at our South Stadium, Jerry and Rock. At our North Stadium, Lisa and Mark. I know, you thought turkeys couldn't fly, right? There he is, the unthinkable, certainly unthinkable, Corky Wright. While Corky's been clowning around out here, we've been throughout the world. Looking for the polar splashdown. This is Jeff Stoskop from Eagle River, Wisconsin. Whoa, look out, look out. There's the wave, he's okay. On the extreme outside. Here we go. Up. Over. Look out. Hang on, Mark. Hang on, Mark. Hang on. Made it. They've reached a level of performance unparalleled, set apart from the... Gorka, hurry up. Sit down on the shoulders. We're going to take off here. You're going to take off. You're both going to take off. Yes. Sit down on the shoulders. Not like that. Turn around and sit down. Not like that. Don't turn around, Gorka. Turn a square. Get on the shoulders. The countdown resumes. T-minus 5 seconds and counting. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Liftoff. Splashdown. Oh, Corky, you're no astronaut. You're an astronaut. The clown wants to fly. I'll say his head's way up there in the clouds. He's flying up the ramp. Heading right for it. Corky takes to the air. That's right. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Well, they'll just stand there, Top Gun. Jump, jump, jump. You're an astronaut, Corky. Let me see you moonwalk. He's not bad. He's plain terrible. Beam him up, Scotty. Beam him up, please. I'm sorry, Donald. Let's not forget about the little Moonmaid Quartet down there at the South Stadium. That Moonmaid Quartet and Corky are obviously made for each other. Look at her out there, hanging all over him like a cheap suit. Cheap spacesuit. Quartet and Corky met about 5 years ago. They met in a travel agency. At the time, Quartet was looking for a vacation. Corky was the last resort. According to Quartet, Corky's out of shape. So she put him on a diet. Said, Corky, I want you to get back down to your original weight, 7 pounds, 7 ounces. Behave yourself, Corky. Corky, just bring Quartet back up here and put her down. Gary, just bring her back here and put her down. There he is! In all of show skiing, it certainly requires the most teamwork of anything you've ever seen.
You can share the dream. Just like the red, the white, and the blue. It's the greatest American ski show.
Dedicated to the Space Shuttle Discovery. 4 tiers high!
It's an old dream come true. Just like the red, the white, and the blue. It's the greatest American ski show.
The incredible 4-tiered human pyramid. Hey, watch them climb down. This is an extremely difficult feat in itself. Ask a skier, they'll tell you, climbing down is even more difficult than climbing up. 6 of the Aquabays do not have skis. Consequently, as each climbs down, she'll be riding in on the skis of a champion. The teamwork continues. These young men and women are the finest water skiing athletes in the world today. And we're proud to say that this truly is the greatest American ski show ever. Here they are. Our Cypress Gardens skiers. Our professional powerboat drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cypress Gardens ski team.
This is Cypress Gardens, fountains. That's the moss hanging in the trees. There's a waterfall over there.
Hey, Dad, look.
Oh, I'm looking for him. So lucky.
He's melted. walked on this sidewalk over here a while ago. And here's what you got to look out for when you're walking through Cypress Gardens. See a little happy little alligator there? We just walked down that way. Now they don't feed these in here because they want to be afraid of man.